What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we've got some pretty exciting stuff to jump in and talk about regarding Destiny 2, future content, and the end of Season 4. So we now have a date for the end of Season 4, Bungie break down some of the things you're going to want to do before this season ends. We'll talk more about that in the beginning of the next season in just a moment, but Bungie are setting up a new raid-along. Some of you guys from back in the day may remember the raid-alongs we had for some of the other raids in the game. Bungie talk about performance on consoles and updates to the game, a Season 5 update, some Sandbox changes, known issues, and a bunch of other stuff, so we're going to break it down in this video, guys. If you do enjoy this one, a like is very much appreciated below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe to see a lot more Destiny 2 content, but let's jump into it. So first up, before we talk about the end of the season and Season 5, Bungie say Festival of the Lost has come and gone. Guardian spent 3 weeks eliminating nightmares in the Haunted Forest. All that remains is the investigation into the murder of Master Ives. And of course, we're expecting the final step for that quest next week. Bungie say many of you are still working towards some of your Forsaken goals, earning titles and various triumphs, but even with so much to do in game, we're looking to spice things up a little. So there are going to be a couple of different streams from Bungie. First, we have a Bungie bounty taking place in Gambit on Xbox One, and this is happening on Monday, November the 12th, so that's next week, beginning at 10 AM PST. So Xbox players will get another chance at that Bungie bounty, and also Bungie will be streaming over at twitch.tv/Bungie. On top of this though, there will be a Last Wish raid-along, and this is happening on November 19th, once again at 10 AM PST, and we can watch that over on Bungie's Twitch channel. They say each of the streams will showcase gameplay with commentary from the creators of Destiny 2, and following our streams, we have some changes coming up to address feedback we've collected since Forsaken was released. So Bungie talk about more of this stuff in just a moment, some of the changes that we can expect to see, and some of these will actually come into the game during Season 5. But first, Bungie say we are rapidly approaching the end of Season 4, which is currently set for November 27th. They say you have a limited number of weeks to complete the following objectives. So of course November 27th is what, 2.5 weeks from now? The final Iron Banner for Season 4 will begin next week at 9 AM on the 13th of November, of course that's the weekly reset, running up to the 20th of November. This will be the final chance to earn any of the Iron Banner gear, specifically the Season 4 armor, and they say this will be the final chance to earn Iron Banner triumphs associated with Season 4. And if you're wondering about bonus Valor points before the end of Season 4, DMG did clarify Valor gains will be increased next week with the Iron Banner. Stay tuned to Bungie for announcements, so we're not sure if it'll be all week long or whether it will just be for the weekend, but there will absolutely be ways to earn additional Valor next week inside of the Iron Banner, which is definitely good news, especially if you're grinding for that broadsword. They go on to say some triumphs have seasonal requirements. While these triumphs do not have a score associated with them, players may wish to complete them prior to November 27th. So for the Vanguard, there is a seasonal Vanguard rank of course. You do have the seasonal Crucible ranks including Valor and Glory. Progress towards any of these will actually stop on November 27th. Bungie say while quest lines for Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten are available year round, Crucible ranks will be reset at the end of Season 4. Each quest contains a step to reach a rank milestone, and progress may be lost for these specific steps if you do not reach the requirements prior to the season ending. Progress for alternate quest steps will not be reset, so if you're in the middle of getting precision kills or completing rumble matches, you will not lose any progress in those steps. They say, for example, of course, if you do not reach the rank you're aiming for by November 27th, you will be reset to Guardian and have to climb the ladder once more. So if you're going for Luna's Howl, just as an example, you'll need to get your 2100 points before November 27th for it to be counted inside of this season. If you don't manage to do that, you can still continue with the quest next season. All of your progress on kills and stuff like that will still count, but you will have to make those points and reach that rank inside of the next season instead. So pretty interesting right there, because Bungie give us the end date, but not the start date for Season 5. If November 27th is the end date, what they did with Forsaken, I believe, is actually have a week where we weren't really inside of a particular season. So it could be the case that Season 4 ends on November 27th and Season 5 begins in December. And of course, December 4th is entirely possible. Bungie tend to drop this stuff early in December, or at least they have with the previous fall expansions, but at the very least, we know November 27th will be the final day inside of this season. So let me know your thoughts about that stuff, guys. Not long to go, but Bungie say we've been paying close attention to reports of long load times on console and are working on improvements to reduce these load times. And that includes starting up the game, signing on, selecting characters, loading into activities, traveling throughout a destination, as well as loading the player inventory and switching between UI tabs. They say in the upcoming Season 5 update, you should see significant improvements loading into activities and traveling throughout a destination. They say we've been bringing new content, bug fixes and patches at a cadence cadence more frequent than what we have previously accounted for, the cadence of patching has translated into some unexpected overhead within the code that is responsible for loading data into the game. They say loading from orbit into the EDZ should be reduced from over 2 minutes down to just over 1 minute, so that definitely sounds like a positive change, and they're hoping to get these into the game in the upcoming Season 5 update. On top of this, there are some sandbox changes that should be coming in Season 5 as well. They say Spectral Blades has been heavily retuned to increase the reliability of melee attacks in PvP and to bolster the effectiveness of the super stealth capabilities. So they are increasing the lunge range of all attacks, reducing the cost of light melee attacks, increasing the number of consecutive hits required to speed up the attack rate, decreasing the base attack speed to improve hit registration on intended targets. They say this is not intended as a nerf, the goal is to increase the intentionality of the attack rate increase. They've retuned melee targeting to have greater emphasis on player input, increased the viability of stealth mechanics, added a small amount of damage resistance to the stealth state, and they further decreased the super drain when stealth is active. So that will be a change for the Void Spectral Blades, but they say for Chaos Reach, we're tuning the energy cost of deactivating Chaos Reach early. The intent of this tuning pass is to make it more rewarding to skillfully time your deactivation when using this super. Essentially, it will be more punishing to deactivate Chaos Reach super extremely early, but less punishing when deactivating later in the super. So those sound like some pretty good changes to some subclasses coming up in Season 5. They do also say they're looking to add reset functionality to checkpoints in various activities, such as the Last Wish raid. So of course right now in the game, we're not actually able to reset a raid, so if you have a checkpoint at Morgoth for example, you'd either have to complete the raid to get back to the beginning, or wait until the weekly reset, and this includes things like Shattered Throne as well. Bungie are looking to add more reset options to these kinds of activities. Also on the subject of sandbox and updates, DMG did say, since the release of Forsaken, we've been fielding feedback concerning the Oathkeeper exotic gauntlets for hunters. Primarily, players do not feel that the Adamantine Brace perk offers a significant change to bow charge times. As such, we are removing bows charge faster from the description of the perk in an upcoming update. This armor piece will continue to give a minor decrease to charge times, but will no longer be called out as an aspect of the exotic perk. Moving forward, the focus of this exotic perk will be that players may hold bow charges indefinitely, with the benefit of perfect draw being applied to arrows fired, even after longer hold times. They do say we'll continue to monitor feedback as it comes in, so please continue to sound off with thoughts concerning the Oathkeeper gauntlets. DMG didn't say exactly when we can expect to see this change, but it seems pretty likely that it could happen during Season 5. Of course, we will get a somewhat major update alongside Season 5, and that'll include some of the previous changes we spoke about, but we can probably expect other changes to roll into the game over the weeks that follow the beginning of Season 5 and the launch of Black Armory. Bungie reiterate again some of the known issues inside of Forsaken, and you can get a full list of those on Bungie's website. But just in case you haven't jumped into Forsaken just yet, there will be yet another Gambit free trial this weekend. So that's starting at 9 AM Pacific on Friday the 9th of November, running up until the 11th. But on top of this, there will be double Infamy points all weekend long. And that'll be for every player. So if you're still trying to level up anything like that, we've got yet another weekend of bonus points. And this week, of course, we have the highest spawn rate of the Malfeasance boss. So this weekend will literally be the best time to grind Gambit pretty much ever. But Bungie do say we're excited for the future of Destiny 2, Season of the Forge is coming up quick, and we've got more than enough to keep ourselves busy until then. We'll be reminding you throughout the month, Season 4 ends on November 27th, claim your triumphs and earn your gear before time's up. Also another quick shout before we finish the video, if you are a Gambit fan, Bungie just launched a new Death Heals Primeval t-shirt, and you can see it's pretty cool right there. You've got the Drifter's ship as well, so you can check that out over on the Bungie store if you're interested. But guys, that is going to summarize the video today. Obviously, it looks like next week we're probably going to get a reveal for Black Armory. Of course, we still need to have a Season 5 reveal. We haven't had an official reveal of the dates or anything like that, but it's certainly not going to be long. Let me know your thoughts about the season ending in just 2.5 weeks time from now. Time has certainly been flying since the launch of Forsaken. Don't forget the Bungie Bounty on Xbox on November 12th, the Raid Along on November 19th, that should be pretty awesome. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the first changes we're hearing about going into Season 5. Of course, we can expect a lot more information soon, and I will link Bungie's blog post down below if you want to check it out. But if you have enjoyed the video guys, a like is very much appreciated below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe to see a lot more D2 content. Check out my sponsor Now Drinks, who designed some pretty awesome drinks for gamers. They help improve focus and memory, but instead of being full of sugar and caffeine and all that bad stuff, they are the healthier option. There is a special deal over this weekend as well, so if you want to check out Now Drinks, you can follow the link in the description below. But as always guys, I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome day.